Welcome students to another lecture of botany. In the previous lectures we have seen, that is we have seen the various different shapes of bacteria, as well as we have also discussed the structure of bacteria. Now today in this class we will discuss the modes of nutrition in bacteria. That is, what are the various ways by which bacteria can derive their nutrients, how do they get the energy. So now first we will classify the bacteria into two broader categories. Bacteria can be classified into two broader categories based on how they obtain their nutrients. So the first is autotrophs and the second is heterotrophs. Based on how bacteria derive their energy, bacteria are classified under two broader categories. The first is autotrophs and the second is heterotrophs. We already know what is autotrophs. So here the autotrophs are the organisms which can prepare their own food. They are auto means self-dependent. They are self-dependent. They prepare their own food. They doesn't require the help of other organisms. They prepare their own food by taking the nutrients from the atmosphere. So that is why they are called as autotrophs. That is, those are the self-dependent organisms. They just derive the nutrients from the atmosphere. And the organisms which cannot produce their own food, they cannot produce their own food. They are dependent on other organisms for their food material. So such organisms are called as heterotrophs. So there are some bacteria which can prepare their own food by themselves. They are self-dependent. They take nutrients from the surroundings and prepare their food. So such bacteria are called as autotrophs. And there are certain bacteria which cannot prepare their own food. They depend on other organisms for their energy. So such organisms are called as, or such bacteria are called as heterotrophic bacteria or heterotrophs. Now we will see further this autotrophs or the self-dependent organisms, self-dependent bacteria are further classified into two categories. The first is photoautotrophs and the second is chemoautotrophs. Now coming to photoautotrophs. Photo means, the word photo means, that is, it is light. That is, these organisms or these bacteria will take the sunlight, will trap the sunlight and prepare their own food. They trap the sunlight and carbon dioxide from the environment, and with the help of that carbon dioxide and light they prepare their own food. So the bacteria which uses light as the source of energy, light as the source of energy, and take carbon from the environment and prepare their own food. So such organisms are called as photoautotrophs. So now we have seen how they prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. They take, in the process of photosynthesis we all know, the photosynthesis is a process in which organism or plants take sunlight from the atmosphere, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and convert that carbon dioxide and light energy into chemical energy. That is, they will convert that carbon dioxide and light into food material. And along with that food material it will release oxygen. So now if we see, I will write this derivation of photosynthesis. Plants In photosynthesis, plants take that is carbon dioxide and water from the environment. Plants take carbon dioxide and water from the environment in the presence of light and chlorophyll. In the presence of light and chlorophyll, and convert into chemical energy, that is C6H12O6. Plus along with this it also gives oxygen and water. So this is the basic equation of photosynthesis. In this photosynthesis, what is happening? Plants are taking carbon dioxide and water from the environment. Light is also taken from the outside environment. Chlorophyll is a pigment which is present inside the leaves of the plants. So by taking all this, the plants will be able to, with the help of this energy, the plants will be able to convert this carbon dioxide and water into chemical energy, that is glucose, with the release of oxygen. Now here in this light and pigment, along with this pigment also, this pigment chlorophyll. Pigment chlorophyll plays an important role. The organisms in this, along with light, pigment is also important. So here by taking the light and by having the pigment chlorophyll, they will convert the inorganic substances into organic substance, that is glucose. In bacteria also perform the process of photosynthesis. They prepare their own food, that is photoautotrophs. They also prepare their own food in the similar manner like how plants will prepare their own food. But here, instead of water, they will take, this bacteria will take CO2 plus H2S. The bacteria will take H2S, hydrogen sulfide, in the presence of light, and here the pigment present in plant is chlorophyll. So here in bacteria it will have bacteriochlorophyll. So here with the help of this one, they will convert this into food. And here oxygen is released. But in this case, sulfur will be released. Instead of oxygen, they will release sulfur. Same process here, but instead of water, these bacteria take hydrogen sulfide, and with the help of this pigment called as bacteriochlorophyll, they convert this carbon dioxide and this hydrogen, that is hydrogen sulfide, into food material with the release of sulfur. Apart from this bacteriochlorophyll, they also have bacterioviridin. So photoautotrophs are the organisms which traps the sunlight, and with the help of the carbon dioxide from the surrounding, it converts that carbon dioxide into chemical energy. So here these bacteria, with the help of the sunlight and the pigment, they produce chemical energy, and the pigment which is present in bacteria is bacteriochlorophyll, and also one more pigment will be present, and that is bacterioviridin. These bacteria perform the process of photosynthesis very similar to that of plant with a little difference. So here with the help of the carbon dioxide and sunlight and pigment, they prepare their own food. So such bacteria which can prepare their own food with the help of sunlight and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, such bacteria are called as photoautotrophs. Such bacteria are called as photoautotrophs. Now coming to this next one, chemoautotrophs. The word itself is saying their bacteria was using light as the source of energy. Here bacteria will take chemicals as the source of energy. By using the chemicals, they will derive the energy, they will derive their nutrients. So now derive the nutrients from chemicals. Chemoautotrophs are the bacteria which derive their energy with the help of chemicals. Example here is nitrifying bacteria. We say that as we know what is the process, ammonia. Nitrogen cannot be taken directly by the plants. So that nitrogen from the atmospheric nitrogen that need to be converted into first ammonia, then to nitrites and nitrates, then it will be taken up by the plants. So here what happens is these nitrifying bacteria, they convert the ammonia. They convert ammonia. This nitrifying bacteria, they convert ammonia into first nitrites and then nitrates. These nitrifying bacteria, the bacteria which derive nutrients by using chemicals, so such are called as chemoautotrophs. Example of one such bacteria is, that is we find this nitrifying bacteria. These nitrifying bacteria convert the ammonia which is present in the atmosphere into nitrites. Then this nitrites will be again converted to nitrates. Then, so during this process of conversion of ammonia to nitrites and nitrates, they will get the energy. They will get the energy which is required for for carrying out the various processes in them. So example for this nitrifying bacteria is Nitrosomonas, another is Nitrobacter. The simple thing which we need to remember is the bacteria which take chemicals, inorganic chemicals for obtaining the energy. So such bacteria are called as chemoautotrophs. The bacteria which use sunlight as the source of energy to derive their nutrients, those are called as photoautotrophs, and the bacteria which use chemicals to derive the energy, so such bacteria are called as chemoautotrophs. Now coming to the next, heterotrophs. Bacteria broadly classified into autotrophs and heterotrophic bacteria. We have seen autotrophic, different types of autotrophic bacteria, that is photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Now moving on to heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are the organisms which are dependent on other organisms for food. Heterotrophs are the organisms which are dependent on other organisms for food. They cannot prepare their own food. So here these heterotrophs are also divided into many divisions, that is 3 divisions. The first is saprophytes. The first is saprophytes. Saprophytes are the organisms which cannot prepare their own food, but they are dependent on or they obtain energy from dead and decaying organic matter. They feed on dead bodies, they feed on dead plants. These saprophytic bacteria, they cannot be able to produce their own food, so they will feed on dead bodies of plants, animals, human beings and all. So such bacteria which feeds or which derives the energy from dead and decaying organic matter, so such bacteria are called as saprophytes. Example of the saprophytic bacteria is Clostridium. Now coming to this another, that is symbiotic bacteria. Symbiotic bacteria, this bacteria also cannot be able to produce their own food. They also depend on the other, but here now there exists an association between bacteria and other organism. There exists the association, they are helping each other. Bacteria and the other organism are helping each other to survive. So now this bacterium, example of that bacteria with a symbiotic bacteria is Rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria. This bacteria lives in the root nodules of leguminous plants. The bacteria, Rhizobium bacteria, this is a symbiotic bacteria. This bacteria lives in the root nodules of leguminous plants. And these leguminous plants, how they are mutually benefited? This leguminous plant is also benefiting from the bacteria, and bacteria is also benefiting from the plants. They are living together, they are living in association and helping each other. So what they are doing? Bacteria is providing the nitrogen to the plants. These plants cannot take directly nitrogen from the atmosphere. So nitrogen needed to be converted into other forms. So this bacteria will convert the nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen, into another form and give it to the plants. So the plants, by taking the nitrogen, they will be preparing their own food, and this plant will provide food and shelter to bacteria. Plants will provide shelter and food to bacteria, and this bacteria provides nitrogen to plants. Bacteria provides nitrogen to plants. Both of them are helping each other. So this type of association, in which bacteria is in association with some other organism and both of them are getting mutually benefited. So such association or such type of bacteria is called as symbiotic bacteria, and the association is called as symbiotic association. In this, both organisms are mutually benefited. Now the third type of heterotrophs is parasitic bacteria. Here it is saprophytic bacteria, symbiotic bacteria. Now this is parasitic bacteria. Parasitic, that is which causes diseases. Parasites are the organisms which causes diseases in the bodies of the living organisms. Okay. So this type of bacteria, they are parasitic in nature. They cannot survive on their own. These parasitic bacteria lives inside the bodies of the host cells. Hosts, they live in the bodies of the hosts. This host can be either plant It can be either animal or it can be either human beings. That means these parasitic, that is the parasitic bacteria, lives inside the bodies of the plants or animals or human beings. So by living inside the bodies of the host, they will take the nutrients from the host. They will take the nutrients from the host. They cannot produce their own food, but how they will be surviving? They will be eating the food from the host organisms, and in turn they will be causing the diseases. That is, parasite will live in the bodies of the other organisms and they eat the food materials from them, as well as they cause, the parasites cause diseases in the organ, that is host cell. They eat the nutrients from the host cell, one thing, and the other thing, apart from eating, they are also causing disease. For example, Salmonella typhi, it is a disease in which we find in human beings. It is a disease which we find in human beings, typhoid we say. Then Vibrio Salmonella typhi, this is one bacteria, parasitic bacteria. Vibrio cholerae, it is another bacteria which causes disease in humans. Anthrax is also a disease which is caused in sheep with the help because of this bacteria. In plants also bacteria will cause the disease. Leaf blight, many diseases are there which will be caused by the bacteria. So bacteria which lives inside the bodies of the host cell, they feed on the nutrients of the host cell and cause the diseases. So such type of bacteria are called as parasitic bacteria. So that is, they derive the nutrients from the host cell. They derive the nutrients by this one, symbiotic bacteria derive the nutrients by mutual association with the other organism, and the saprophytes, they derive the nutrients from dead and decaying matter. So there are different ways by which bacteria will derive the nutrients. The first is they prepare their own food with the help of the light, and in the second one, in that is in photoautotrophs, they derive the nutrients from with the help of the sunlight. Now here in chemoautotrophs, they are deriving their nutrients from chemicals. Now in this one, saprophytes, they are deriving their nutrients from dead and decaying matter. In the symbiotic association, they are in, that is, this bacteria are in association with other plant and derive their other organism and derive their nutrients from that organism. And in parasites, they live inside the bodies of the host cell. They derive the nutrients from the host cell and cause the diseases. So these are the various different modes or ways by which bacteria will obtain their nutrients. In the next class, we will study the different modes of reproduction in bacteria. Till now we have seen the shapes of morphology of bacteria, we have seen the structure of bacteria, we have seen this modes of nutrition. Now in the next lecture we will see modes of reproduction in bacteria.